We only have 29 minutes remaining. So I'm super excited that Rochelle is going to be leading our call today. She has been fighting personal development, and so she really dived into this book. And so the only way I knew she'd get to the book is if I was like, you should do a call over it once you finish it. That's the only way I knew that she'd get to the whole book. So she's going to talk about kind of what she took from the book and kind of the lessons that apply to our business. And I'm so excited to hear about it, and I can't wait to read the book that she's going to talk about because I have not read it yet. But I will let you take over, and Laura, will you mute everybody and then press record?
Okay, it is recorded. And then remind me how to mute all.
Go to participants, and then you'll see.
There we go. Yeah. Yes.
And then Rochelle,
okay.
You can unmute yourself.
Go ahead, Rochelle.
Okay. All right. Okay, can everybody hear me? It's okay. Well, if I can, here we go. Okay, so the book that I was reading is called Toilets, Bricks, Fish Hooks, and Pride. So like I said in the announcement, you know, it's kind of a crazy title, but I will tie all of this into how this can help us become better coaches. So a little bit of background information. I know we have a lot of new coaches. So my name's Rochelle Miller. That's really weird because, yeah, anyways, just got married. In December, this past December, I signed up to be a coach in last October. So it's been 10 months that I've been a coach. I started my journey because I was having trouble getting the results that I wanted doing my own thing. I have a background in exercise sports science, and I was a PE teacher and coach at a middle school. I'll be in world geography this year. Kind of bummed about that, but it's okay. And then, so yeah, I started coaching. Jessica got me on board, and you know, I had great results and took off from there. I think I hit diamond in March, and I have held that this entire time, some weeks by the hair on my chinny chin chin, but made it work. So that's a little bit about me. Oh, I'm expecting, for those that don't know, little baby due in October. And then, so yeah, that's a little bit about me. So Brian Cain, the author of the book, he was a college baseball player and, you know, had good success, you know, was great. Obviously got to go Division I, but he struggled when he got to that more elite level. And, you know, he kind of reflected on what his struggles were, and it led him to becoming a motivational speaker, more or less, but talking about, you know, how to, you know, be the best, you know, performance, you know, athlete, coach, whatever that it is that you want to do. So he actually, when I was playing softball at Texas State, my coach brought him in to do a session with us, and we were like eating the fire, you know, down our throats like they do in the circus, and we were smashing boards with our head like martial artists and just doing all these crazy things. And so, you know, it got us excited before season, got us motivated, got us going. But, you know, he talked to us about the ups and downs of, you know, the season and how to prepare ourselves mentally for it. So at the end, he gave us this book. Sad to say, I didn't take the opportunity then to read it because, of course, you know, 10 million other things to do, and reading professional development, let alone, you know, reading my college notes was like meh to me, because I just, like Jessica said, I struggle with professional development, so it wasn't priority. But I'm glad I went back. I kept the book for future reference, and yeah, so I'm glad I read it. So that's a little bit about that. All right. So I'm going to start us off with a little story. Perseverance. So this person, and he uses this in his book as an example, at age 22 failed in business. Age 23 ran for legislature and was defeated. Age 24 failed, sorry, it's supposed to be an F, I don't know, it's an R. Failed again in business. Age 25 elected to legislator. Age 26, his sweetheart passed away. Age 27, had a nervous breakdown. Age 29, defeated for speaker. Age 31, defeated for elector. Age 34, defeated for Congress. Age 37, elected to Congress. Age 39, defeated for Congress. Age 46, defeated for Senate. Age 47, defeated for Vice President. Age 49, defeated for Senate. And at age 51, he was finally elected to President of the United States. Does anybody know which president this is? Random guess. One of the more ones we talk about. Anybody? Just unmute yourself. Okay, it's Abraham Lincoln. So to me, when I read this in one of the chapters, I was just like, wow. He started at the age of 22, and I mean, you can see obviously how many failures he had throughout his life, and of all those failures, you can count, he's elected 1, 2, only 3 times out of all of these, attempts that he had. He was only successful 3 times. And with all of this defeat, yet he kept pushing on, kept pushing forward. And, at age 51, he was president of the United States. And now we recognize him as being one of the greatest presidents in the U.S. history. So it just goes to show that, if you continue to persevere in your life, whatever it may be, as a coach in Beachbody, failure is a part of that. And you have to keep being persistent and moving forward, because ultimately you will get what you want. So just a little bit of an example there as we kind of venture into the book. So the game versus coaching. So a couple of things for me when reading this book. Like I said, I played softball in college. So it was really easy for me to put similarities together. So hopefully I can best describe those to you. So in the game of baseball or softball, if you have a batting average of 300, it gets you into the Hall of Fame. Well, what does batting an average of 300 means? It means out of the 10 attempts that you go up to bat, you are successful 3 times. So that means, it's not just getting a hit, because you can get a hit and it, go to a player, you can strike out, but those count as an at-bat, but those aren't a success. To be successful, you have to get the ball through the infield or to the outfield, whatever it may be, and get on first base safely without any error by the defense. So doing that 3 out of 10 times, people are in the Hall of Fame for that in the Major League Professional Baseball. As a Beachbody coach, we tell you, if you send 10 invites, you're going to get hopefully 3 successes out of that. So that's just a visual for you that in anything else, if you made a 30 on a test, obviously you take that home to your parents or whatever, and they'd be like, oh, that's failing. But in this business and in the game of baseball and softball, batting a 300, having 3 successes out of 10, that gets you in the Hall of Fame. So it's a mental change for a lot of people, that 3 out of 10 is good. 3 out of 10 is really good. That's what we shoot for each month as a coach, to help 3 people. So that's one thing in the book. Quality versus quantity. I know a lot of coaches struggle with this. I myself have struggled with this. And through reading the book, it talked about with practices, do you want to have a quality practice or do you want to have a quantity practice? Do you want to sit there and take a ton of reps, off of a baseball tee, just hitting constantly? Or do you want to slow it down and, maybe take only 10 at-bats and quality at-bats off of the tee? You have to kind of decide what's going to be best for you as a coach. I have started to, when I first started, I was definitely quantity over quality. I was trying to get as much out there as possible, invites and whatnot, but I realized that I wasn't necessarily connecting with everybody. And it was hard for me to sometimes make that sell. And so here recently, I've kind of gone back and, really looked at the quality of my conversations with people and really spending time getting to know who I'm asking to join and be a part of a challenge group. You can put it out there for anybody. By all means, do it, because you never know who's going to want to be helped. But once they respond to you with that they're interested, then take the time to get to know them a little more, because it can be overwhelming to have 10 invites out there, and then all of a sudden, if you're lucky, 10 of them respond with, yes, I want to join. You get to be impersonal, and part of this business is being a people person and helping and getting to know everybody. So as a coach, just kind of look and reflect on, quality versus quantity. What's going to be the best thing for you right now? And when's it good to, switch it up with that? Also being a part of a coach, just as being on any other team, you have a role. You have a role in Team VIP. Some of us are really great with putting together workouts. Some of us are really great at doing professional development. Some of us are really good at inviting. What is your role on this team, and how can you bring that to the table to help everybody else? Again, game of softball and baseball, you have 9 players out there on the field. A pitcher has a role. The catcher has a role. The infield has a role. The outfield has a role. If one person's not doing their role, the team is going to suffer. So everybody on Team VIP needs to step up and, contribute your strengths to the team. That's how we're going to become better. So figure out what your strengths are. And for you as a coach, to your downline, figure out what your strengths are, figure out what their strengths are, and then use each other's strengths and weaknesses to, help each other build your team underneath you. And then have a goal. On Team VIP, we have a goal. You should have a goal personally. If you don't, what are you working for? If you don't have a goal, short-term, long-term, if you don't have something that you're working for, then why are you doing this? You got to figure that out. For me, like I said, at first it was to fit into my wedding dress, and, goal accomplished. That was a short-term. I say short-term goal because I did it within one round of 21 Day Fix Extreme. But being a coach and taking coaching seriously, my long-term goal is to stay at home with my baby. I want to be a stay-at-home mom. I'm super passionate about that. And, I'm super passionate about health and fitness in general. So to be able to do that and share my passion for that, but to be able to stay at home with my child and not have to drop it off in tears at daycare, would be a dream come true. So that's my goal I'm working towards, and it's approaching quickly. So another thing that I know a lot of people struggle with is control the controllables. And he talks about this a lot in the book. As in any sport, baseball and softball are played outside. So you have, the weather, you have the, the crowd, you have the other team, you have the umpires, you have all of these things that are completely out of your control. What are the things that you can control as a coach? As a coach in Beachbody, you can't control, how people respond to you. You can't control, that a unfortunate event happens in your life. You can't control, a sale not going through. I get it all the time. People are so excited to sign up, and then all of a sudden, you send them the link and you're thinking, all right, I got 5 SC already in the first week of the month. And then all of a sudden crickets from them. And you're like, hey, did you order? Do you need any help? And they're just like, oh, never mind. I changed my mind. I've had it happen with a coach. I had a coach sign up and she was gung-ho, ready to get started. And literally I woke up the next morning to an email and she had canceled her coaching. And I was like, messaged her, hey, is everything okay? I got a cancellation from you. I just wanted to make sure that, something didn't happen and can I help you? And, she said, I went through the coaching call and I sat down with my husband and we just decided now's not a good time and maybe I can try again in 6 months. And I was like, okay, what you can't get upset. You can't that's something that is out of your control. So what are the things that you as a coach can control? You can control your attitude. I could have gotten totally mad at her, and been upset and just broke down and shut down. But I can't control her not wanting to take a part of the opportunity yet. So I've got to keep a positive attitude and keep pushing onward and forward to the next person that is, really ready to commit to do this. You can control your commitment. You can control your, I don't have my paper in front of me, but our daily checklist. That is completely and utterly in your control. Doing that checklist every day. Your behavior. You have absolute control over your behavior, how you react towards people, your performance. Again, going back to your checklist, that's kind of our performance checklist. Did you do these things today as a coach? Again, your reactions towards people and your emotions. You can control you. You cannot control any other outside forces. So how do we do that? Because I personally am an emotional person, and I feel like my heart is always in the right spot when I'm doing things and that I'm trying to genuinely help people. I really am. And so when I get told no, it's like, well, why don't you like me? What did I say? What did I do? And I overanalyze it. But at some point as a coach, you have to realize they're not saying no, they're saying next opportunity. So you have to just stay within yourself and do your daily things and keep yourself in check, and everything else will eventually start to fall in place. So control the controllables, which is you. Okay, so we're going to go through, there was so much information in this book, and it was only 150 pages. So if you do get an opportunity to read it, definitely do. It's a short read, even though I drug it out. But he has a lot of acronyms for things. So I wanted to go through some of the acronyms because they're things that you can post, in your office, on your mirror, in your car, wherever, to remind you of, what's important. So these are a list, and then I'm going to go through them more in detail. So the first one is E plus R equals O. So events plus response equals outcome. So again, the event is that you send an invite out. That's your event. You're sending an invite out to an event or a challenge group or the coaching opportunity, and you get their response back and it's a no. The outcome isn't the no. your reaction and your follow-up and your follow-through is the outcome to their no. Why did they say no? Ask. It's okay to ask. If they don't ever respond back to you, then, hey, message them again and say, hey, I don't know if you got my response or not. I was just wondering, what your hesitations were. That's the outcome. And it's showing people that you care. And if they keep ignoring you, they keep ignoring you. But you keep moving on too. Don't get stuck on it. If their response is a yes, then the outcome is you're excited and you're figuring out what their goals are for health and fitness. You're figuring out which challenge pack is going to be good for them. You're getting started on the coaching opportunity and the emails. So the events plus response equals the outcome. KISS. So keep it super simple. I cannot express enough how much our upline has taken care of all this for us. They have so many files and so much information out there at our fingertips for us to use to keep it simple. So if there's something you are having trouble with, go check the files page. I personally, my invites I send out, I use the script, but then I alter them a little depending on who I'm talking to and, what my goal is for that person in the conversation that we're having. But I definitely use the scripts as a base, a good base to get started. So for new coaches, if you're nervous about sending out invites, because it is a scary thing, you're putting yourself out there, keep it simple. Use the scripts. If you can't find what you're looking for in that, YouTube, Google, like the internet has tons of resources out there to help you be successful as a coach. There's no reason anybody on this team cannot be successful as a coach because the resources are there. And if you really do get stuck, then you have your upline coaches to reach out to. You're either personally sponsored upline coach or, anybody on Team VIP. But just keep it simple. It does get overwhelming, and the more simple you keep it, the better you will feel. I know I've gotten overwhelmed at times with there's 10 million things going on, but you just have to break it down and what's best for you and how simple things can be for you and get done. Okay, this next one I love. Today plus today plus today equals your career and your life. So, whose headstone wouldn't want to say that? Rest in peace, lived life to the fullest. I mean, it's so true. We have today, we have, but we don't know if we have tomorrow. But each today that we are given, we can make it the best. And what are we doing today that's going to help our career, therefore helping our life? As Beachbody coaches, your day-to-day task is to do your checklist. If you are not doing your checklist, if you are not getting all the things done on your checklist, you need to start doing it now. Because those things added up every single day is what's going to create your career as a Beachbody coach, therefore is going to create your life and the life you want to live. If that's as a, stay-at-home mom like myself, or if it's to just have an extra income to, pay for your Shakeology order or pay for extra products, or if it's to be a part-time job that is going to pay for trips for your family or pay for certain bills or certain fun expenses. But none of those things are going to happen if you don't do the daily tasks, which I say is the checklist. So start doing your checklist. Okay, run the marathon. So being a Beachbody coach, if this was a quick fix, health and fitness thing, it wouldn't work. If this was a quick fix money making thing, it'd be a pyramid scheme. Therefore, it wouldn't work. This is not a sprint. Being a Beachbody coach is not a sprint. Yes, do some people have great success, like boom out the gate? Yes, they do. But I'm telling you right now, every person that I have sat and listened to have extreme amounts of success right out the gate. They were working their butts off. They were not only doing their checklist, they were going above and beyond their checklist. And that's why they are so successful so quick. But if you don't have the time to dedicate to do that, you know, it's okay. Don't beat yourself up about it. It's okay. This is your race. That's the beauty of being a Beachbody coach. This is your race. You run it at the pace you want to run, but it's a marathon. So if that means you're walking, you walk it, but you finish the marathon. If that means you come sprinting out the gate, you sprint out the gate, but you still have to finish the marathon. It's longevity. It's not, like I said, this is not a quick fix. This isn't quick fix in fitting, getting your health and nutrition on track, and it's not a quick fix in making money. To earn what the top earners are earning, they have all been in it, 2 to 5 years, making what they make. And, I'll sit here and say, yes, I'm a diamond coach, but I probably average $500 a month. That's real. And that's okay. To a certain extent, that's okay with me. Obviously, I want it to be more because I want to be a stay-at-home mom, but this is my race. And only I can push myself faster, and only I make myself go slower. But the point is I'm not getting off this race. If this is something you truly want to do and want to be a part of your life, you will keep running the race. You won't drop out. Okay. So be big. One of the big, this just means kind of the fake it till you make it. Be big, act big. If you're just a coach, you have no rank at all. If you're just a coach, act like you have a rank. Act like you're a 5-star diamond. If you're emerald, act like you're a 5-star diamond. If you're a diamond, ruby, whatever you are, it doesn't matter. Act like you're bigger than it. One of the biggest things being a player myself, and being a coach now to middle school for softball players, I had a girl this season, and this phrase just reminded me because I'd always tell her this, and it kind of, reading the book again, I was like, oh, that's where I guess I got it from, and I just didn't realize it. But skill level wise, this girl is right on point with how I was in middle school and high school. She has the ability to go on and play Division I softball by all means. She has every capability skill level wise. The one thing that she lacks is her confidence. Whereas I differed as a player. I had so many people growing up that would tell me, oh, you're just at a, 2A school, just a tiny little school in the middle of a cornfield. You'll never make it to a Division I, college. And I didn't let that negativity. I got up to the plate every single time, no matter who the pitcher was, and said, I'm going to put this ball in play. You are not going to throw a pitch past me. And as a Beachbody coach, you have to have that same mentality. No matter who you send an invite to, you have to believe that you are the best coach for them. You have to believe that you have every tool possible, because you do, they're out there, to help this person. If you have the slightest bit of lack of confidence, people are going to see that. And that's when they get disconnected. That's when they don't trust you. And that's maybe when they don't buy. Not necessarily all the time the case. I know people come up with crazy excuses on why they can't join. But one of the big things I think part of being a coach is you have to be big. You have to be bigger than yourself. Be confident all the time in whatever you're doing as a Beachbody coach. Whenever you're talking about being a coach, be big about it. Be proud about it, no matter what anybody says. Next one is check-in. So be present in the moment and continuously feeding yourself positive talk and positive body language. Ties in with what I said about being big. People are going to see that, but you have to check into that. You have to know when you are not being big. So that way you can get your mind right. And maybe to get your mind right, it's to go do a workout. Maybe it's to read professional development. Maybe it's to drink your Shakeology. Maybe it's to contact, your personally sponsored coach and chat with them about it, or reach out to your success partner and check in with them about it. But check in with yourself. And check in with your, challenge groups. Be active in your challenge groups and check in with your checklist. If you're, like I said, if you're not doing your checklist, then how are you holding yourself accountable? So check in, be present, be giving yourself that self-talk, self-motivation, and carrying yourself, as a big person in the Beachbody organization. Flush it. So I love this, and I was hoping to find a little mini toilet thing to demonstrate. But anyways, so flush it means to flush your toilet of the crap and move on. There's going to be so much crap that comes your way as a Beachbody coach. We've all heard, I think, the normal excuses, but we've also heard some crazy excuses on why people don't want to sign up to be in a challenge group, or can't drink Shakeology right now, or don't want to take part of the coaching opportunity. And again, we cannot take it so personal. We have to just accept their no as a next opportunity, flush it, and move on to the next person. And I say that being as direct business stuff, but you're also going to probably have people out there that, question you being a Beachbody coach, in the sense that, oh, well, it's a pyramid scheme, or, just flat out. I know I talked on my last call that I led about how I had a very close friend of mine, her and her husband would make fun of me doing my workouts. And he would laugh about it at work, or be texting with his wife, my friend, about it at work. And he works with my husband, and my husband saw and came home and told me. And, you're going to have people that are going to naysay and nag behind your back, and you may find out about it. You may not. But if you do, just flush it. Because you know in your heart that what you're doing is what's best for you and what's best for your family, and what you want out of this life. And if they're not willing to accept that, then flush them. Release your mental bricks. So the story he used in this is that you have a 5-pound brick, 5-pound dumbbell. If we asked you to carry that 5-pound dumbbell for 5 minutes, could you do it? Probably. You could probably carry the 5-pound dumbbell for 5 minutes. But what if we asked you to carry it for, 5 hours, 5 days? Would you be able to carry that brick for that long, or carry that dumbbell for that long? Probably not. It'd get tiring. So that's the same as carrying around all the negative things. carrying around the no's, carrying around the people making fun of you, carrying around the people that are questioning your decision to, be a part of this opportunity. When you carry all of those negative things around, they weigh on you. And then that's what makes you start guessing being a coach. And you can't do that. You have to let them go. You have to release those mental bricks and let them go. You can carry that 5-pound dumbbell for, the 5 minutes, vent about it, get it out of your system, then chunk it down and move on. Flush it and move on. Because that, I think, will be one of the biggest things that as a new coach you will struggle with. If you're not getting a lot of feedback, positive feedback right away, the no's and the mental side of things are going to weigh on you so much and make you second guess it. And you shouldn't. This is an amazing opportunity. And if you can just release the negative thoughts and stay positive and stay true to you and stay true to your why, then you will make it in this business. Okay, the Mumba disease. This was big in my school last year, and it's funny because, like I said, I got this book, like 5-6 years ago, and then this became like a big deal in all of the schools this last year, posting this up. So Mumba, what does it stand for? It stands for my only obstacle may be attitude. So the poster that we hung up was this, math equation. And it said if ABC, blah, 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 equals 1, 2, 3, blah, 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 then knowledge adds up to 96%. Hard work adds up to 98%. But your attitude adds up to 100%. So your attitude is everything. And he used this as well. Attitude equals altitude. So if you have an attitude that's sky high, then your altitude is going to be sky high. If your attitude is low, you're not going to get very high off the ground. So again, tying all of this back in, it's your mentality, it's your attitude, it's the things that you can control. Letting the uncontrollable things go, releasing them, flushing them, chunking that 5-pound dumbbell down and moving on. Focus on you, focus on your attitude and what you want as a coach. Okay, act. Actions change everything. So how would you act? And this is funny because when I was reading this, his deal he used is, how would you act if your performance wasn't connected to a stat? So as a Beachbody coach, we're all the time, push for success club 5, push for success club 10, help 3 people. It is a statistical thing, it is a stats thing. But what if you removed that for a second? Instead of worrying and stressing about, oh my gosh, I got to hit SE5, freaking out, it's the last week. Trust me, I've done it. What if you step back and you just go, who am I helping today? Whose life am I going to change today? Take away the points from it. Take away the commission from it. Whose life am I going to help change today? My action is going to change somebody else's everything. Instead of my action's going to get me 2 points, which is going to get me to 5 points, which is going to get me whatever free silly thing they decide to send me this month. Which I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty excited about my canister. But the little bobblehead of Sagi, that was hysterical for anybody that got that. But, take away the stats of it. Get down to who you're helping and why you're helping them. And if you do that, I think you're going to see that your statistics or your stats improve a lot more. Because people are going to see that you're caring and that you're more invested in them rather than, hitting a goal. People can see that. I don't even know how you pronounce this, but it's get off your anatomy. And he put it nicely because I'm sure we could think of another word for anatomy, but it says get off your anatomy. So stop just going through the motions of the day to day. I know having the checklist, it gets really easy to just, go through the motions of it. And one thing I've struggled with is doing that, just going, okay, blah, 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 got it done. Yay. Did I get it done? Yes, great. But was I really giving it my all? No. So one thing that's been working for me, and I can do this right now because it's summer, is I wake up, I send out my friend requests because it's super easy and simple and quick, and it's something I can do while I'm just laying there barely opening my eyes. Then when I get up out of bed, I get my workout done, drink my Shakeology, boom, there's 3 things off my checklist done. Then I may take some time to do something else around my house, watch a little TV. Then I'll go into, following up with people. Then I'll take a little break. Then I'll come back and I'll invite, take a little break, come back, do my professional development. Throughout the day, I make sure I'm getting my posts done. Then come back at the end of the night and check in with my coaches or my challengers. I've been breaking it up throughout the day because I have noticed that my quality is better than my quantity when I do that. Some people, it's great. You can sit down, knock it out in 30 minutes and you're good. But if you are struggling with that, think about breaking it up into chunks because it literally takes me the same amount of time. It's just I do it over the span of the day so that I'm not just getting completely robotic. I can get more in touch with, my feelings and how I'm responding to people. So stop just going through the motions, have some purpose to it. What's important now? So, what's important to you right now? Is it getting your Shakeology, paid for? Is it making a little extra income, to pay some bills? Is it turning this into a full-time job? Is it, helping a family member, helping a friend? Is it helping a stranger? What's important to you now? And it changes daily and it'll continue to change, but you have to keep that at the top of your list every morning. What is important to me now? What is important to me today that I'm going to be the best coach that I possibly can for somebody out there? What's important to you in this moment? One thing I want to quickly share with y'all, I'm wrapping it up, I promise. Sorry, I know I'm going over. But I wanted to share with y'all a little bit of statistics for new coaches. This is our 90-day checklist that we have been doing. Obviously, I have some blanks in here, so I was not doing my top-notch job. But I did some math on it today, and over the course of the time that we've spent doing it, I have sent out 315 invites. So, and we're not even done. We're on day 76. And as you saw, I had some blanks. So I missed some invites in there. But in the invites I have sent out 315 invites. And this is from just starting May 24th until today. 315 invites. Out of 315 invites, I have had 7 new coaches. 4 of them were already challengers. So I brought on 3 new coaches. Of those 7 coaches, 2 of them have brought on 1 coach under them. I have 2 coaches that have gone Emerald in that time, and partly because I was about to drop in rank. From Diamond one week, and I was freaking out and texting Jessica out the wazoo, and changed my mentality through personal development and looking at how I was approaching things. And that's when I got a lot of these coaches signed up. And I made my sister and my husband both Emerald. So both accounts I'm running. So I have my account, my husband's account, and my sister's account. I've sold 6 challenge packs and 3 Shakeology orders. Those numbers don't sound like a lot, but I've sent out 315 invites. So if we were going back and looking at my batting average, it's like a .02 right now. But I'm still a diamond coach. I'm still in this marathon. I'm still running my race. And you should not let the no's defeat you, because that's a lot of freaking no's. I couldn't believe it. I know, Laura, I saw your face when I said 315 invites, and I know some of you are sending more than 5 a day. That's just me sending 5 a day. So don't get freaked out by the no's. It's gonna happen in this business. It's a part of this business. But the no's just mean next opportunity. Because again, yeah, I've sent out all of that and my numbers are small, but you know, as I continue to build and continue to show people what this business is about, they're gonna catch on and they will come around. And they will for you too. You just have to stick it out. Don't give up. Keep running the race. Okay, so how to tie it all in. So your toilets, your bricks, your fish hooks, and your pride. So toilets, flush away the negative thinking. The adversity and failure that is inherent in, and I can't read because I can't see in coaching. The bricks, drop the mental weight that you carry when you are not able to use your toilet to flush away the negativity. The fish hooks, stay in the moment, focused on what you can control and what you are trying to accomplish versus getting caught up or hooked on the things you can't control and are trying to avoid. Pride, take personal responsibility in your daily effort. So that's how we kind of tie all of that back in. And then I'm going to leave you with a quote from Brian Cain. It says, winning is a byproduct of being where you need to be when you need to be there. Being present in the moment, play by play, or as a Beachbody coach, invite by invite for the marathon is what will give you the best chance for success. So that is all I have for y'all. Does anybody have questions?
Rochelle, that was so good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for leading that. That was a ton of information, and there were so many good, like, little nuggets of information. I would totally recommend listening to this call again because I feel like you would get something different out of it every time that you listen to it. For sure, top 2 takeaways for me: control the controllable. That is so true and just so relatable for our business. There's so many things you can't control, but you can control yourself, your attitude, your quality versus quantity. Like, that was just amazing. That's so true and dead on. I love that. And taking action. A lot of times we get overwhelmed by our goals, what we need to do, what we should be doing, what we're not doing. We get so overwhelmed by maybe fear or paralyzed by our to-do list that we just don't do anything at all, and we just sit there and talk about it. So just take action. Just start doing something. If you're nervous about doing a video, just get it over with. If you're nervous about doing an invite, just do some sort of action that's going to get you further to helping people change their life, because that's your goal, is to get people either to change their life financially through the business or through a challenge group, losing weight and getting healthy. So go back to those basics. But such a good call. I won't keep rambling because I know we're already over. Yeah. But I really loved it. Nolan, he said it was a snooze fest, but other than that, it was really good.
So good, Rochelle. A couple of takeaways. Relationship business. This is totally a relationship business. If we're in it for the numbers, you're absolutely right. We're in it for the wrong reasons. Get to know people, know their why, what are their goals, and what are they looking forward to. I have literally wrote down a whole list of everything I learned. So go back and listen to the recording, but amazing job. Tomorrow, guys, if you have new coaches, we do have a new coach bootcamp starting tomorrow. So if you have new coaches, look on Team VIP. You can add them there. What other announcements do we have? Anyone announcements?
I just want to say for anybody that's on the call or listening to the recording that if there's anything, because I know I went over, but if there's anything that you want me to go more in depth about, I would be happy to go more in depth with you about, either message me on Facebook or whatever. I'd love to explain even more to you. So
awesome. Okay, guys. Well, thank y'all for joining. We'll see you next Sunday. And of course, on social media tomorrow morning at 6:30 a.m. See you there. Okay. Bye, guys.